My name is Heather. I'm 23 years old and live in a small town in Chicago. When I was young, I dreamed of a happy life, marriage, a couple of children, a house, and a good man. I thought love would be easy, but I was wrong. I met Harry when I was 22. He was 24. We connected at a friend's party and he asked for my number. The next day, he messaged me, "Do you want to meet for coffee?" I said yes, and we met in town, talking for hours. I really liked him. After that, we saw each other often. He made me laugh, brought me flowers, and called me every night. After 6 months, I told him I loved him, and he said he loved me too. I believed him. We were together for a year. I worked at a gift shop, and Harry worked at a car repair shop. We didn't have much money, but I was happy. Then things changed. One day, I felt sick. I thought it was just a cold, but the next day, I still felt unwell. My best friend, Anna, suggested, "Maybe you're pregnant." I dismissed it. "No, I don't think so." But a seed of doubt was planted. I bought a test, waited, and it confirmed. I was pregnant. I was shocked. That night, I went to Harry's apartment. I looked at him and said, "I have news." He asked, "What is it?" "I'm going to have a baby," I told him. He was silent, looking at the floor. Then he asked, "Are you sure?" "Yes," I said. "I did a test. I'm sure." He replied, "This isn't a good time. I'm not ready to be a father." My heart shattered. "But we love each other," I pleaded. He said nothing, only, "I need time to think." He didn't kiss me goodbye that night, and I couldn't sleep. In the morning, he left early, saying, "See you later." But I knew something was wrong. After that, he stopped calling and answering my messages. He didn't want to see me. One day, I went to his apartment and knocked, but he didn't open the door. I sent him one last message. He replied, "I can't do this. I'm sorry." That was the last I ever heard from Harry. I sat on my bed and cried for hours. I couldn't believe it. I was pregnant and alone. I told my parents. My mother cried with me, and my father said, "We are here for you, Heather." I moved back into their house. Every day I felt more tired and my stomach grew bigger. I went to the doctor, saw my baby on the screen, and heard her heartbeat. I worked at the gift shop until the baby was born. One night I had strong pains. My mother rushed me to the hospital. The nurse said, "You are going to have the baby tonight." I was scared, holding my mother's hand. After a few hours, I heard a small cry. The nurse said, "It's a girl." They gave her to me. She was beautiful. "Hello, baby," I whispered. "I am your mother." I named her Sandra. Sandra cried a lot, and I was exhausted, barely sleeping. I changed her diapers, fed her, and held her when she cried. Sometimes I would sit on the bed and cry too. Harry never came, never called, and never asked about Sandra. One day I saw him in the park. He looked at me and said nothing. I wanted to scream, to ask, "How can you leave your baby?" But I stayed silent. When Sandra was 5 months old, I went back to work. My mother watched her while I was gone. I missed Sandra, but I needed the money. When I got home, I was tired. My back ached, but my daughter needed me. I cooked dinner, cleaned the house, fed Sandra, and put her to sleep. I never stopped. Every day was busy. Sandra grew fast, and my mother helped me immensely. She held Sandra when I showered and made dinner when I was tired. My father didn't talk much, but he played with Sandra. I was so thankful for my parents. Sometimes I saw Harry in town, but he never said hello. Money was a huge problem. My gift shop job didn't pay much, so I only bought what we absolutely needed: baby food, diapers, and clothes for Sandra. I didn't buy clothes for myself. Wearing old shirts. I didn't care how I looked, I only cared about Sandra. When she was sick, I stayed home. My boss wasn't happy. He said, "You can't miss so many days." I replied, "My baby needs me." He warned, "Be careful, you need this job." I was scared. I didn't want to lose my job. I needed it for Sandra. Time passed and Sandra turned 2. One Sunday, I took Sandra to the park. She ran on the grass. Then I saw Harry again, with another woman. They were holding hands. I looked away. I didn't want Sandra to see him. He didn't know him. He was her father, but he wasn't in her life. A few days later, I received a letter from the housing office. They said I could get a small apartment. I was so happy. I packed our things and my father drove us to the new apartment. It had 1 bedroom and a small kitchen. Life was hard in the new apartment. I worked, took care of Sandra, paid rent, and cooked simple meals. Some nights I felt lonely, missing someone to talk to, but I never missed Harry. I didn't want someone who left. I wanted peace. I wanted love that stayed. Sandra was now 4 years old and asked many questions. One day, she looked at me and said, "Mom, do I have a dad?" I froze. "Why do you ask?" I replied. She explained, "At school, my friend said her dad picks her up. Do I have a dad too?" I told her, "Yes, you have a dad, but he doesn't live with us." She asked, "Why not?" I said, "He made a choice. He didn't want to stay." She looked at me and said, "But I have you." I smiled and kissed her head. "Yes," I said, "you have me, and I will never leave." I thought about everything, the tears, the lonely nights, the fear. Then I looked at Sandra's smile. Yes, I thought, she is happy, and I did it all alone. You can face many hard times, but as long as you have love, you will always find strength. Being there for your child makes everything worth it. If you like this story, please like, comment, share, and subscribe.